I'm just a little black rain cloud hovering under the honey tree. I'm just a little black rain cloud. Pay no attention to little me. Everyone knows that a rain cloud never eats honey. No, not at all. I'm just floating around over the ground, wondering where I will drip. I think I should have said nip so that it sounds proper. I'm just a little black rain cloud hovering over the honey tree. I thought it was an appropriate song because there's something wrong with my connection. I've cleaned my screen, my camera, so I know I look fuzzy to everyone. I'm sorry. So I thought it looked like I was in a cloud, and I love that little melody from Winnie the Pooh from the 70s. I think that was 1979 that came out. Just a great little song. The movie came out. So hi, folks. I'm Joette Calabrese, for those who don't know me, and for those who do, welcome back. I meet with you every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I see all my friends showing up. Tracy, hi, Shannon. Wanda from Ontario. It's cold in Ontario right now. My husband is there right as we speak. Alicia and Rose. Let's see who else is here. Hi, Kathy from Southwest Ohio. I've got a fabulous dentist in Southwest Ohio. Knoxville, Shelley. And Lynn Kramer, Marie. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you, Lisa. I don't see you anymore, but I see that you've joined. Sandy from Indiana. And yeah, my picture is super blurry too. I know. It's mine. It's what I'm projecting. I understand it's super blurry. I've cleaned the lens. It was happening earlier today when I was on Zoom with clients too. So I don't know, maybe I don't know if it's the internet or not. But as I said, my husband is out of town, so I don't have his technical ability. My son was helping me, but he was doing it remotely. And this is the best we can do. I'm so sorry. Hi, Betty. Hi, Holly, Sharon from Minnesota and Cleveland and Utah, Georgia. It's great to see everyone. Wonderful. So if you folks love homeopathy, you'll love what I have to teach you, because there is so much I want to tell you. This is my favorite subject. Besides my family, this is my favorite subject. And so there's so much to learn. There's so many tidbits that I've gleaned through the years in my own practice and through working with the Banerjees for so many years, studying with other doctors, Dr. Ramakrishna for 5 years, and then another 2 after that here and there. There's so much to learn, and there's so much that can be of value to you. I can't get this out fast enough. And so I want to, we're going to keep going with this Materia Medica. We're doing Materia Medica. We're in the C's. Here's my Materia Medica that I'll be reading from. And we're going over a medicine. This is what it looks like. Boy, you can't even see the darn thing. Look at that, a Materia Medica. Here it is, really close. And it's we're only in the C's. We have to go all the way to the X, Y's, and Z's. So tonight we're going to talk about something that I've actually suffered from, and that was gout. Forget the edict that you shouldn't eat beef, lobster, and butter, for crying out loud. That's horrible. That's ridiculous. I absolutely love beef. I have beef every day. I really do. I eat beef constantly. And I also eat lobster. And I certainly eat butter. So I think those are all very good foods, and I think they've got it wrong. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I have the exact answers, but I work with a lot of folks who have had gout, including, as I said, including myself. Gout doesn't hit only corpulent men, as they used to say. It does affect women moving towards menopause or around menopause, and that's when it hit me. I think I was in my late 40s, and I thought I'd gotten stung by a bee, not because it happened instantly, but rather by the way my toe looked. It was so swollen, so immensely painful, so red, so hot. It was extremely painful. And so tonight I'm going to teach you about one medicine from the Materia Medica, and that's called Colchicum autumnale. It's Colchicum, and then autumn, Autumnale, autumnale. Colchicum autumnale. It's saffron, or meadow saffron, I should say. Not that it matters all that much. It's interesting, but we don't really always need to know the origin of the medicine. It is made by diluting it many times, as we always do in homeopathy, and succussing, all done in a homeopathic pharmacy, again, regulated by the FDA and many other self-regulating bodies in the US, North America, Europe, etc. So this medicine was the medicine that I actually used for myself. Actually, I first thought of I used Apis first, and Apis helped me a little bit. But Colchicum is what, as I recall, was the medicine that helped me. Since that time, however, I've learned other medicines, and so I'll tell you about this one and how we use it for gout and how we can use it for other conditions as well. And then I'll tell you about some others that we can also use, because gout is pretty darn painful, and it doesn't have to be just in the toe. It can be in the knee. It does more often affect men, but as I said, sometimes women around menopause. So it aids problems of the muscular tissues, the periosteum, and the synovial membranes of the joints. So it's particularly effective on gout and on chronic affections of these parts. So I had acute gout. I mean, I don't know how long I would have had it had I not treated it, but it was an acute event. And then I never had it again. The parts are red, hot, and swollen. So the knee or the toe would be red, hot, and swollen, with tearing pains that are worse in the evening and later in the night, and from touch. Just the thought of somebody or something touching my foot when that happened it brings tears to my eyes now. I mean, really, gout is extremely painful. Other symptoms include great prostration, internal coldness, and tendency to collapse. Now, you don't have to have any of those. All you have to have is the gout, and that's good enough for using this medicine. It's also used for, here's some other remedy or other conditions that we can use Colchicum autumnale for, and that is anytime there's chest pain, buildup of fluid around the heart. Now, Buster, my bad office dog, has congestive heart failure. He's 15. Is he 15 or 14? I kind of lost track. I think he might be 14. He's coming up on 15 years old. And I'm not using this medicine for him. I'm using other medicines. And at some point when we get to those, I will tell you more about it. And he's doing just fine. He's really doing quite well. We thought he wasn't even going to make it this long, as we were told by the vet. Anyway, the person may feel, when they need this medicine, a Colchicum, anxiety in the heart region. Now, I didn't feel any of that. All I felt was pain. There was swelling, redness, and heat. Let's see what else I can tell you about this. Symptoms become worse from sundown to sunrise, from motion, from loss of sleep. And the reason I say symptoms become worse is because we're always looking for that. What makes the condition worse? What makes it better? What makes it worse? That gives us more clues as to what medicine we should be using. It's worse from motion, loss of sleep, the smell of food in the evening, and from mental exertion. Symptoms are made better by stooping, and oddly enough, the person may additionally dream of, and I know this sounds really strange, but they dream of mice. I didn't have any of that. So that's a more classical way of looking at things. I don't use classical homeopathy very often at all. But I do use this specifically for gout and synovial membranes that are swollen. Now, the Banerjees, what I learned from doctors Pradeep and Prasanta Banerjee, those years that I spent in Calcutta with them in their Homeopathic Research Foundation, I learned that what they use is benzoic acid for gout. Benzoic, benzoic acid, and they use it in a 30C, and they use it once a day for a minimum, this is interesting, a minimum of 3 months, even if the pain is relieved. You go for a minimum of 3 months. However, I have found that when I work with clients, it really does take that long for many people, because gout often comes and goes and comes and goes, and it comes more frequently and more frequently and more frequently. By the time someone finds me, they've had gout for quite some time. It usually isn't the first time. And then for the acute swelling and pain, like what I experienced, instead of colchicum, I could have used Ledum Palastra, Ledum Palastra, 200C, and Belladonna 3C. So those could have been used as well. And those are used together, mixed together, that Ledum 200 and a Belladonna 3 are taken every 3 hours, mixed together. Now, if you don't have a combination made like that, you can have it made by OHM Pharmacy. If you happen to be a student or a client of mine, you have access to that pharmacy, which is a fabulous pharmacy, by the way. But if you don't, then you simply get the benzoic acid, the Ledum Palastra 200, put it in the mouth, hold it there, don't chew it, hold it there, get the Belladonna 3, put it in the mouth, hold it there. Okay, now they're mixed. And they're mixed together. And then you suck on them and kind of hold them in your mouth a bit, and it's fine if you chew them. And you can take that every 3 hours. Now, when I use the colchicum, I used it in a 200C. And when I took it, I was taking it, as I recall, it's been quite a while now. I'm going to say it was a good 20 years ago. I remember taking it in 200C about every, I'm going to say it was probably about every 6 hours. I was in such pain, I probably should have gone a lot faster than that. And I did, and I took Apis. I took Apis first. That barely helped at all. Then I went to colchicum. And at one point, I do believe I used Belladonna, but I'm sure I probably used it in a 30, because I was not using Belladonna 3s back in those days. I was using 30 and 200s. Let's see if there's anything else you need to know about this. Benzoic, I don't know if I spelled it, Benzoic, benzoic acid 30C. So when you're working with it as an acute and you're treating with the Ledum and Belladonna, you're going to be using it every 3 hours. Otherwise, you're going to use it once a day. You're going to use the benzoic acid once a day for 3 months. And with colchicum, I would say probably every 6 hours is the best way to go. All righty, let's see if we've got some questions here. Hi, Elaine, you're late. Late to the party. All right. Let's see if we've got questions. I'm still seeing all the highs. Yes, they are always available on Facebook. Okay, kudos to you and Buster for a 15-year-old dog. I know you're right. You must be doing something right. Bravo, Buster. Good office dog. Well, sometimes. Actually, you know what? As he's aged, his Namaker is not as valuable because he's calmed down and he's a much nicer dog than he used to be. He was a very difficult dog to live with. He used to run away all the time. He was just awful. Now he just stays nice and close to me, which is great. Okay, here's Lisa says, I used the Banerjee protocol for my husband's gout and he's never had it since. Yes, by the way, I'm so glad you brought that up, Lisa. It was a chronic issue for him. My MD father told him just to take a drug. And she's laughing. She's saying, ha ha. Yes, that is exactly what I have found. When we use this according to the method, either the colchicum or the benzoic acid and Ledum and Belladonna, it's likely it'll never come back. I'm not going to promise. I can never promise anything. People say, well, will it? Well, it's so far, so good was what I've seen in my practice. And I've worked with a lot of all men. I'm the only woman that I've ever treated. All right. Spell the remedies again. Colchicum, Colchicum, Colchicum. And we use that. I've used that in a 200. And then there's also benzoic acid, Benzoic acid, 30. And then Ledum, Ledum, 200. And belladonna, 3. Let's just see. Here we go. It's all written for you. Let's see. Natalie's here helping me. So she's got it all written there for you. Okay, this is useful without a diagnosis that the joint pain is coming from the periosteum. Is it useful for the pain in the periosteum or synovial membranes? How would I know otherwise? The only way you would know is from a doctor who has a lot of experience with it. And they can tell with palpating, they can tell by just looking a lot of times. And that's the kind of doctor you want, is someone who can, through plenty of clinical experience. Yes, it could very well be. The colchicum could definitely be useful for that. Yes. All right. Oh, I see. Your computer didn't start. Had to go to your phone. Your dog ate your homework. Is it helpful for an inguinal pain? No. Inguinal, I don't know. I don't know that I would say that. I mean, listen, people always ask me, would this work for this and would this work for that? And I say, you know what? The way that I look at it is these medicines are so inexpensive. You can't always get it exactly right. It's worth a try as far as I'm concerned. If it doesn't do any good, then you know you've got the wrong medicine. If it does good, then you know then you're onto something. Okay. If taking the Banerjee protocol, Ledum plus belladonna, do you stop at 3 months and see if there is a flare-up, or do you keep going past the 3-month mark? How do you determine when to stop? What they're saying, what I'm saying when I'm telling people to stay on a medicine for at least that amount of time, is that is the amount of time that you must give it in order to determine whether or not it's the correct medicine. And so at the end of 3 months, if there's absolutely no improvement, then it's likely the wrong medicine. However, as I've said, I've yet to see it fail. If the pain stops sooner than that, I would still go all 3 months, particularly for a chronic case. And at the end of 3 months, if there's improvement, but it's not gone, I would continue on with it. If it's completely gone after 3 months, then we stop. Is it ever used for arthritis? No, I don't, Rachel. I don't think of this colchicum as an arthritis medicine. But if you're looking for arthritis, simply go to my blog and key in arthritis. It's all right there for you. So you don't have to worry about not knowing how to treat arthritis. And how about Medarinum? I know the Banerjees talk about Medarinum 200C every other day. And I will tell you that I've used it both ways. I've used it with Medarinum, and I've used this protocol without Medarinum. And because Medarinum can sometimes be difficult to get, and it still acts, still works. So far, my experience is it still works. Treating tendinitis, please help. How long can you take Hypericum 1M, number 3? Well, let's see if it works. How many per dose? Well, how many pills per dose is always on the outside of the bottle. How long do you take it? You take it until it's done. Or you've tested it out and you still have the exact same amount of pain. This is just what I'm saying about this as well. If the pain is still there, but it's minimizing by taking a medicine, whether it's Hypericum or Arnicum or Colchicum or Ledum and belladonna, whatever it might be, then you, if it's still there but not done, then you continue on. If it's still there and you've used it for some time, say many days, and it's hard to know without taking the case what that means for this particular case, but it means then that you could be using the wrong medicine. Okay. So the Colchicum 30 every 15 minutes to better, that is better than 200C. I'll tell you, my sense is that you could use either one, the 200 or the 30, to be honest. I've used it myself in a 200, and I've not used it in a 30, but my guess is it would act just as well. My father has tophaceous gout, very painful, and he's 100, plus years old. What can he take? As he always is, he's also on heart meds. I can't tell you what he can take. All I can give you is information, and then you have to make your decision on what he should take. But given that this colchicum is a heart medicine, it kind of fits a little bit more comfortably. Let's see. What do you recommend for Achilles heel tendonitis? I'm not going to get into tendonitis, but I do have a blog on it. Buster had tendonitis. You might want to check that out. And I think we just linked to that recently in one of the last blogs, as I recall. So if you put tendonitis or Buster's bad leg or Buster's leg, you'll find exactly what to do about that. If a joint hurts and it's inappropriate to use without a diagnosis, or the periosteum. If a joint hurts, is it inappropriate to use without a diagnosis of the periosteum or synovial membranes? Here's the thing. If you know what the condition is, a conventional diagnosis, you will go much further faster. In other words, you'll know what you're treating, and then you'll know what to use. I like conventional diagnostics. And I'm not talking about alternative medicine diagnostics, trying to determine why it's happening. We just want to know that it's happening. Will you do harm by using a homeopathic medicine for a few days or a short period of time if you're wrong as to whether or not it's synovial or periosteum or whatever? I don't believe you'll do any harm. Or if you makes you feel uncomfortable, then you simply stop taking it. All right. So try the colchicum in 3 something, or is it for emergency only? No, you can use colchicum for chronic as well as acutes. What about frozen shoulder? I think I talk about that also on the blog. So take a look at that. Frozen shoulder, Joette Calabrese. All right. You're welcome, Dawn. How do you get benzoic acid? Well, you can go on, you buy it from Boron. I always tell folks, buy your medicines as often as you can from Boron, Boiron. And when you go to Boron online and you're ready to check out and you go to the little key area, then put in my name, Joette, Joette, and you will get a discount. And again, I do not get any kickbacks for doing that. I have no affiliate programs. It's just I offer it and so do they, to help folks out there. And we usually use pills. Okay. And muscle spasms so no, muscle spasms are different, but again, muscle spasms are on the blog. Joette Calabrese, muscle spasms. All right, let's see. Yep, and Dawn is talking about symphytum for tendonitis, and you use colchicum 200 for congestive heart failure, or is it another potency? If I were using this for congestive heart failure, I would probably use it in a 30. Love the soft focus. Actually, I don't mind it either, as long as it's not driving you crazy. I didn't do it purposely. I don't know what's happened. You're very welcome, Rachel. I think, let's see. I think we've got it. Folks. So we're in the C's. We're still in the C's. You know, there are a lot of C's. There are a lot of words in English and Latin that begin with the letter C. So we're going to be in the C's for a while longer. And, oh yeah, we've got a lot more to go. It's taken some time and I love it. This is my nourishment, folks. So I love helping you out, and I want to remind you that I think we still have I think we made a mistake, or there was something that happened with the pain course that we had up. Oh, there was a problem technically, and then also there was another concern. People were saying, I never saw the email because it was it was Thanksgiving and I missed it. So we extended it. I'm not sure if it's still extended. I'm pretty sure it is. So if you're interested in the course on pain, overall, all kinds of pain, then by all means, take a look at that. And you can go to my website, joettecalabrese.com, and study, folks. Study, learn, grow, treat your families, and go out and do good. And with that, I'm going to say good night. Mwah, love you all, and see you in a week. Bye, folks.